The lost city of Z is one of the most fascinating legends of modern exploration, located in the Amazon jungle, an uncharted area full of life and intrigue. For ages, explorers have been captivated by the legend of this legendary city, which they believe to be the site of a highly developed civilization hidden deep within the Amazon. There have been innumerable forays into the thick jungle in search of this fabled city, but no one has yet come up with conclusive evidence of its existence. British adventurer Colonel Percy Fawcett became fixated on the concept of Z and joined other explorers in their pursuit of this myth. His strange 1925 disappearance and subsequent Amazonian explorations have only served to solidify the myth. The mythology surrounding the lost city of Z is rich in mystery and lore, and it is set against the breathtaking backdrop of the Amazon jungle. The enormous, mostly uncharted Amazonian jungle has always sparked awe and curiosity. Fawcett is indelibly linked to the 20th century as one of its most mysterious and daring explorers, thanks to his life and pursuit of Z. His life is a tragic tale of obsession, endurance, and loss. On the other hand, it's a constant reminder of how fascinating the unknown is, and how determined people are to find answers in the most remote corners of the globe. Colonel Percy Fawcett came from a long line of intrepid explorers and brave soldiers when he was born in 1867. The hardships of exploration were well suited to Fawcett's upbringing. The military assignments he received in Ceylon and Hong Kong were only the beginning of a lifelong quest to discover more. But Fawcett didn't come across the Amazon and become enchanted with the notion of a vanished civilization until 1906, when the Royal Geographical Society commissioned him to sketch the boundary between Bolivia and Brazil. Even while most of her contemporaries thought the stories of Amazonian great civilizations were just that, folklore or fantasies, Fawcett was certain that some lost metropolis lay buried in the bush. Ancient writings and indigenous mythology both attest to the existence of great, well-organized civilizations deep within the Amazon, which contributed to his conviction. His belief that the Amazon had been inhabited by a sophisticated culture in the past was strengthened by these tales and the artifacts he found there. The mythology, creativity, and science that went into Fawcett's depiction of the lost city of Z were all interwoven. The archaeological artifacts he uncovered led him to conclude that a highly organized and advanced civilization had once lived in a city that had disappeared without a trace. Thoroughly researching the subject, he studied maps and historical records and communicated with anthropologists and archaeologists. Inquiry into the natural world's workings and a firm faith in its eternal secrets motivated him on his journey. After a number of exploratory excursions in the Amazon, Percy Fawcett set off on his first expedition in 1911 to find Z. Fawcett was an expert navigator, and the results of his early expeditions into the Amazon revealed important details about the region's topography and culture. Fearless in the face of insufferable heat, hostile animals, and the ever-present danger of sickness, Fawcett persisted in gathering facts and increasing his understanding of the area. In his mind, the remains of Z were lying in wait in the uncharted regions of the rainforest, maybe close to the Xingu River's headwaters. Many indigenous communities were in touch with him during his excursions. Despite some tense moments, he learned a lot about the Amazonian people and their culture via his contacts with them. Fawcett frequently praised the natives for their extensive knowledge of the forest and their deep ties to the earth, demonstrating her admiration for them. Regardless, he persisted in his search for what he imagined to be the artifacts of a great civilization that had long since passed. Several times in the 1910s and 1920s, Fawcett tried to find Z. From time to time, he would make an appearance in Britain to deliver lectures and solicit donations for upcoming trips. He persisted in his faith in Z and sought out further evidence from a wide range of places, including old writings, archaeological artifacts, and urban folklore. His exhausting excursions failed to uncover the city itself, but they did yield intriguing clues to a long-lost civilization. Those who were critical of Fawcett at the time and later on said that he was only pursuing his wildest dreams, writing off his discoveries as the result of wishful thinking and an inability to accept the boundaries of what might be discovered. Looking for the lost city of Z, Fawcett set out on what he thought would be his last and most conclusive expedition in 1925. For two main reasons, this trip was different from all the others. To begin with, Fawcett's conviction that he was getting closer to Z's whereabouts was stronger than before. He was certain that he had located it in a remote and perilous section of the Amazon deep within Brazil's Mato Grosso region. Second, Raleigh Ramel, a friend of his eldest son Jack, was also present. More than just a scientific expedition, this would be an introspective one. They set out on their journey full of hope and determination. Fawcett thought they were following a track that would bring them to Z, so they continued to go further into the bush for months. Sending a note to his wife in Britain on May 29, 1925, Fawcett assured her that they were fine and making positive progress. That was the final communication they ever made. One of the biggest mysteries in exploration history remains unsolved: the disappearance of the three explorers. In the years after Fawcett and his colleagues vanished, numerous search groups endeavored to follow their footsteps, hoping to uncover the truth. Although several expeditions returned artifacts and skeletal remains, none of them could establish what had transpired. Many people wondered if they would perish in the bush or be killed by the hostile indigenous tribes. We have yet to discover definitive proof of their fate. The myth of the lost city of Z was further solidified when Percy Fawcett and his friends went missing. The story of Fawcett's demise is now interwoven with the legend of the Amazon and all the mysteries it holds. In the decades following Fawcett's disappearance, the concept of Z has captivated explorers, adventurers, and historians who seek answers to the mystery that occupied Fawcett's life. In an effort to find Fawcett's body and the truth about the lost city of Z, numerous famous expeditions set out in the 20th century, but none of them have shown that such a city actually exists. Some archaeologists have uncovered centuries-old artifacts from massive, intricate Amazonian communities in recent years. According to these results, the area may have supported more people and more developed cultures in the past than was previously believed, which provides support for the theory of more advanced civilizations like Z. Although Fawcett's missions did not lead to the actual discovery of the lost city of Z, they did greatly advance our knowledge of the Amazon. His maps of unexplored areas and careful accounts of his interactions with indigenous peoples have given contemporary scholars priceless information. More than that, Fawcett's fixation on the Amazon piqued the general public's interest in the jungle, which in turn encouraged many scientists and explorers to learn more about and preserve this important ecosystem. With an area of more than 5.5 million square kilometers, the Amazon rainforest, sometimes called the lungs of the earth, is the biggest tropical rainforest on the planet. With millions of species, many of which have not been found yet, its biodiversity is unparalleled. It is hard to find a more breathtaking natural setting than a rainforest, what with its thick canopy, meandering rivers, and wild, unspoiled nature. The Amazon River, the world's second longest, flows through the jungle and provides habitat for a diverse array of species. From tall trees to rare orchids, the forest's plant life is just as varied. Amazonian vegetation has a long history of medical use by indigenous communities, and current research is looking into the same possibilities. Aside from being a biological treasure trove, the Amazon is also the dwelling place of a significant number of indigenous peoples, some of whom choose to live in relative seclusion. These indigenous communities have thrived for generations because of the strong bonds they've forged with the land. Even though their way of life has been mostly unaffected by modernity, they are facing an ever-increasing threat from deforestation and mining. A number of contemporary challenges, such as deforestation, illicit logging, mining, and climate change, pose serious dangers to the Amazon rainforest. The agricultural sector, especially the cattle ranching and soybean farming industries, clears enormous swaths of forest land annually. Both the world's carbon emissions and the survival of many species are jeopardized by deforestation. There are a lot of groups out there trying to preserve the Amazon's biodiversity and promote sustainable development through conservation efforts. The goals of these initiatives are to decrease the rate of deforestation, safeguard indigenous territories, and encourage sustainable land use practices that will not lead to additional forest loss. Preserving the planet is everyone's responsibility because the Amazon's future depends on it. A tale of exploration, adventure, and the unspoiled Amazon jungle, the lost city of Z is still one of the biggest mysteries of the contemporary period. The endless human curiosity, the drive to expand human understanding, and the yearning to find the world's hidden treasures are all embodied in Percy Fawcett's quest for Z. The tragic and unexplained mystery of Fawcett's disappearance in the Amazon continues to this day, but his story has inspired explorers and researchers for years, and his legacy lives on. We know more about the Amazon jungle, its peoples, and its intricate ecosystems thanks to the myth of the lost city of Z, even though its actual location has eluded scientists. The myth of Z is a potent call to preserve these natural treasures for the benefit of future generations and a potent reminder of the unsolved riddles in our planet. The relentless pursuit of knowledge and the eternal fascination with the mysteries make the hunt for the lost city of Z more than simply a hunt for a long-lost civilization. The tale of Z, whether or not it ever really happened, enthralls and reminds us of the precariousness and magnificence of the Amazon, the greatest wilderness on Earth.